Hey everyone, welcome to Reddit Readout. Today we are checking out Rules Horror. Story 1. Dmmerung Multinational Armaments LLC Eden Medicare Ltd, Staff Copy. An increase in our operative numbers in local hospitals have drawn suspicion towards our activities around the globe, as it's not easy to explain away missing limbs or other serious injuries convincingly. As such, faced with this and wanting an alternative funding method just in case, we have created Eden Medicare Limited, a private hospital company catering to the rich, influential operatives, including AHDPA operatives free of charge. Eden currently has offices and hospitals in every major and relevant nations, but its command center and largest hospital is currently in the Amazon rainforest, more specifically in the Amazon River Basin. This not only provides us with uncountable amounts of flora to study, field studies only, and fauna to both study and consume, but also provides us with a natural beauty to give patients a comfortable recovery environment. You will be assigned a doctor position when you arrive at the center, and your position will not be changed for your entire stay, as changes in position mid-assignment causes immense confusion and annoyance to HR. Do not be concerned about the patients, as they have their own guidelines to follow. You will be assigned a nurse as your partner for your time here. They will not be rotated out for any reason. You will both receive a dossier that includes each other's most recent photograph and any important identifying features along with general information. You will both be dressed in your assigned uniform along with a standard issue pistol. 1A. If the person in front of you doesn't match the information listed in the dossier, a mix-up occurred which will be resolved shortly. If the person has white eyes, alert security, then shoot it if it moves closer. 1B. In general, nurses are in charge of lower, less important situations, basic illnesses and injuries, and administrating medicine/treatments, while doctors are in charge of more serious issues. 2. You will patrol your assigned area, attend to patients and assist your partner, if they request it, during the night, and do your duties during the day, while every nurse will be in their assigned rooms, may change assigned rooms depending on needs, during the night and move during the day. If you encounter a nurse during the night and they say that they are patrolling in a monotone voice, shine your flashlight at them. The person will turn into a gray, very thin humanoid, and at which point it should flee. 2A. If said creature does not flee, shoot it. Tell any awakened patients and confused nurses that a member of the local fauna managed to leap the fence and get into the building, and that everything is under control. 3. Feel free to talk to your assigned patients and partner during the day, as not only will it allow you to better understand what they need from you as a doctor, but also give you an opportunity for making friends. However, if you see a man in a three-piece suit, vacate the area immediately, as what he is interested is the patients, but he will happily take you too. Note: bullets will ward him off, but it takes far more than what your pistol can do for it to be effective. 4. No plants are allowed within the building. No exceptions. For some reason, any plant that enters spreads a dangerous vine-like growth that strangles any living being that comes close. If you see any plant within the building, leave immediately and alert security. 5. Yes, you can look at the lights that occasionally appear during the night, but don't be alarmed by your quality of sleep temporarily deteriorating. Note: unconfirmed. 6. We encourage you to spend your free time outside within the fenced boundaries. Our location provides near unfettered access to scenic views, fauna, and flora that is found nowhere else in the world. 6A. If you see a flora sample that looks unusual to you, feel free to mark it and report the marked sample to our labs. One of our field teams will go out when they can. Never bring the samples within the building, see number 4. 7. If a person with pure white eyes runs up to you and begs for help, drive them away using any method you can. Shout at them, push them away, hell, point your pistol at them or shoot the ground. The person should run off. The person will kill you and assume your identity should you fail to chase them off. 7A. If the person runs towards the patient wing, do not worry, as they have their own guidelines on how to deal with it. 8. When you are attending a patient, if they suddenly sprout vines from their wrists, Tell your partner to get the syringe with the green solution in it while cutting as much vines as possible. Be sure to hold them down as survivors report excruciating pain and uncontrollable twitching while the serum is working. The vines should wither and fall off on their own after 2 minutes. If they don't, evacuate and alert security. 9. You have no business being near the research labs besides providing the location of a marked sample. Do not question anything that you may hear from the labs and move along. Although this may seem daunting, I can personally assure you that if anything happens, know that you are in the best medical facility in the world. Also, don't piss your partner off, it would be a shame if an unfortunate mix-up of medicine occurred. Story 2. How to save yourself. Everyone in the country knew about the plane crash from 2 months ago. As the reporters on the TV had said, just yards away from the wreckage they hauled on shore, leaks were found in the fuel tanks and the jets were jammed, purely an accident. Ultimately, nobody survived the crash. Flight 74 nosedived into the Pacific Ocean, not far from the California coast, where 169 passengers died. If I were normal, which many people have said I'm not, I wouldn't have flown that day. I wouldn't have flown with Sky Limits Airlines, the same company that Flight 74 had born from. But work has always been my priority, even leading to my divorce. It barely fazed me. I've always been married to my job anyway. I couldn't miss the conference in France. I couldn't. I wouldn't. The company just happened to buy my ticket from Sky Limits Airlines. It wasn't a concern. It should have been. I should have been hesitant, as many people were. But I wasn't. My mind was elsewhere, as were the 65 other passengers that boarded the plane with me. I took my seat next to the window and checked the time on my phone, 8:45 a.m. A man sits down next to me, and I restrain a visible frown. I was hoping I'd have the whole row to myself, but I guess not. A muffled announcement from the cockpit blared through the speakers announcing liftoff. Bored with the usual routine, I snagged the safety procedure pamphlet from the small pocket on the back of the seat. I'd read these things multiple times, considering I flew a lot for my job. But as I scanned the contents, I realized that this one was different. There were no pictures, just words that read as follows. How to save yourself. Rule number 1. The plane is going to crash. No one knows this but you, not even the pilots and staff. Do not tell anyone. You're the only one who has this. Rule number 2. Do not look out the window. The more you do, the faster the plane will fly. You need to as much time as you can get. Rule number 3. When the oxygen masks drop, don't put yours on. They're all poisoned. If you are sitting next to someone, don't try to stop them from putting on theirs. You don't have time. Rule number 4. There will be 3 encounters of turbulence. During each of the 3, do the following. 1. When you first feel turbulence, do not flinch. Stay as still as you can. Your stomach will drop, but do not acknowledge it. If you do, the plane will drop immediately. If so, skip ahead to 2. When you feel it a second time, take off your shoes as fast as you can. The smallest bit of weight can turn the tables on your life. Do not put them back on for the remainder of the flight. If you do, the plane will drop immediately. 3. When you feel the turbulence a third time, run to the seat opposite of yours on the other side of the plane. If you sit in the wrong one, the plane will drop immediately. Be wise. Rule number 5. There's a life vest under your seat. Do not put it on. It will only weigh you down more. Rule number 6. Once the plane begins to plummet, run to the bathroom, open the cabinet, and put on the parachute stashed there. Then open the emergency exit and jump out. Don't worry, you'll land safely in the water. This isn't my first procedure. Rule number 7. Once you land, swim back to the Seattle coast. It should be in visible sight. If you can't swim, then it's a shame you happened to be chosen. Happy flying! The man sitting in next to you. I scowl down at the pamphlet, my eyes carelessly glancing at the man next to me. He's staring at me, a smile on his face so unsettling it chills me. Feeling uneasy, I stuff the pamphlet away into the pocket and look out the window, trying to ignore him. What the hell kinda shit is this guy pulling? I never considered myself a superstitious guy, but it's not funny at all. The plane begins to speed up. My heart races as worried murmurs fill the cabin. I look at the man. His smile is bigger. Toothy. Fuzzy. The plane speeds through the sky at such a rate I feel plastered to my seat. A broken, panicked announcement on the speakers turns into a high-pitched wail of static. I cover my ears, and people begin to scream. The plane begins to shake with turbulence, and I reach to shut the window screen. The plane drops. The lights flicker, the oxygen masks fall from their compartments overhead, the man is smiling at the room of frenzied people as they snag their masks and put them on. Instinctively I grab mine and strap it onto my face. The air in my lungs sours. My pulse races, but somehow the world begins to slow. The last thing I do is look at the pamphlet, tucked away into the pocket. I'd already forgotten which rule said. My world is swallowed by darkness. Story 3. Rules for surviving Twitter. For some unholy reason you went on Twitter, I'll keep this starting text brief so you can get straight to surviving. Rule 1. Act like one of them. The easiest way to do this is to pretend you're a black transgender woman that hates their body, preferably with a couple of severe wounds along with being hateful towards straight white men and rich people along with police officers doing their jobs. Failure to do this and they'll harass you relentlessly. Rule 2. Spend at max 30 minutes per week. The last thing you want happening is for you to turn into another one of those things. Rule 3. Try to not be political and stuff. If you do, you'll have to go with the most general Twitter opinion of it or you'll be maimed by the users of Twitter. Rule 4. Just don't go on Twitter in the first place. From Zerul. Story 4. Rules for my school. Do not ever get sent to the principal's office. You will not come out. Do not ever answer a question wrong. You will regret it. Do not ever go home between 3 p.m. to 5 p.m. Do not go to the bathroom during a lesson. They will find you. Always fully eat your lunch. If you don't, then good luck. Never bring your own lunch. You will end up in the principal's office. And you know what happens when you get sent there. Do not ever make mistakes on your tests. They will teach you the hard way. Do not ever lose your pen or pencil. Do not ever ask someone for a pen or pencil. Do not ever talk during a lesson unless your teacher calls you. They will find you. Those were a few rules if you're new to my school. Don't ever break these. That's all for today. Please don't forget to like and subscribe.